Good evening, good evening, good evening. Quickly. My name is Eugene Fahngon. I'm the Director General of the Liberian Broadcasting System, a citizen of the Republic of Liberia with rights established under the Constitution to freedom of my thoughts. And today, as a citizen, I am delighted to share my thoughts. Been reading a couple of things. Mr. Clarence Jackson said he was going to get back to me. Any year back from Mr. Clarence Jackson on one Mr. Nyanti Tuba, whatever you call him. These kids, one time Clarence and I were sitting together and they were beating him mercilessly at the Chinese mall. And John Clarence is making some calls to ensure that he was not killed or anything like that. Did not happen to him. And I'm beginning to understand, because this is the second time he's doing such a thing to me, you know. Something that has nothing to do with me. This guy is writing an article, put Yeke Koluba video, and then his own video did not even capture my name or say anything about me. But he wrote such a thing. And with that said, I decided that I would call his boss. His boss too wanted to make sure. So his boss ran and listened. His boss asked him, but what all this got to do with Eugene Fahngon? Nothing there. Why are you putting his name? Why? Why are you? But again, I have my lawyers. Even though my friend and brother say this thing, I'm lawyer business with all journalists, but don't do that to people. I know you've been setting for Eugene Fahngon, you've been doing all kinds of things, you know. The first attack was to boot me out of here. It didn't work. Someone got victimized in the process. The second attempt on me was to bring the workers' union up against me. Survived that one. The third one was the child support issue. And the fourth one I received about 3 days ago. Today, Tuesday, about 4 days ago. A meeting. No, I forgot. The fourth one was asset declaration. After they realized I was one of the good guys, everybody backed off. And then I received intelligence that there was a meeting held, and because I'm seriously pursuing justice for David Momo, whom I believe was tortured and burned with boiling hot oil. Yes, I believe. And I think this individual should be dealt with in keeping with our laws. And if found guilty, he should be deported. Imagine if Liberians in China had taken a Chinese man, tortured him for hours upon hours. A Liberian take that Chinese man upstairs in his apartment, put oil on the fire, fry him, bring him downstairs, drape plastic on him, and feed him to his dogs. A Liberian man in China. Would that Liberian man even be alive today? Good evening, members of the Intelligentsia. I want to deal with issues of national concern. To begin with, I want to respectfully disagree with my brother, Honorable James Barney. You know, I don't wait for, how you call this thing? A lot of people can say, let me get to 400 before I start. If you know yourself, you won't wait for 400 before you start. You will definitely go about your normal duties and ensure that your work is done. Just pause a minute. I just want all of you to know I'm one of the very few people who will refer to people here as the Intelligentsia. I'll be providing facts as opposed to fiction. The reason why I paused just now is to block a particular individual whose name I will not call. You cannot come on a page that says the Intelligentsia and then you come and say, look at the other dirty criminal. No, no, no. This place is not for street peddlers. When I come on my platform, it is not for street peddlers. You should look at the name and know that you don't belong here. It says the Intelligentsia, not street hawkers. Okay, political street hawkers. That's not what we're here for. Okay? So, let me begin my podcast by saying I respectfully disagree with Senator James Barney. And it is my honest thought. It is my honest thought. And I think we can listen to what happens in the Senate and disagree. But you know me, I don't come to talk without the evidence or without bringing the debate to your door. Hopefully by next month, we'll be having the thing where I will be looking at you just like this. The video will play, I give my opinion or I give my thought. Today in the Senate, and Senator Barney made some good points, but then he said something that I want to respectfully disagree with him on and hold him, because even normally try to hold him to that. The three cardinal functions of a lawmaker: you make laws, you provide oversight, and you represent us, the people. So if you go and you talk about an instrument that is a law or becomes a law and liken it onto a policy and blames the president for not having, quote, the spine to deal with it, then I respectfully disagree. But to do that, I must play the video, right? And prove. Someone say, as an official, you're not supposed to have opinion. Then you were wrong. So we're going to do this. I'm going to first of all hit this up, because I wanted to play
budget.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a good.
All right.
Increasing taxes continually as a way of expanding the budget is not necessarily a good idea. We can derive innovative ways of deriving additional revenue only if the government decides to man up to the challenges. When I supported the current president, I was cognizant of his age and his experience, and I really thought, and he still has to prove that he has the capacity to develop the spine to put in place some mechanisms that will ultimately increase the revenue base of our country. For example, the forest sector. The forest sector is largely underperforming because the government does not have a policy of its own to drive that sector. International partners are sitting right there at SBA, determining what the country does with its forest sector, restraining the capacity of the government to generate revenue. Just a few years ago, when Mr. Taylor governed this country, and he had all his SSAs, but let's work on the positive side of it. Let's work on the positive side of it. We didn't have electricity in this country, but we're producing plywood in your county, Basso. We're producing plywood in Maryland. We're producing plywood in River D. The country was industrializing, and we were generating money from export. 20 years on, we have electricity, and we are importing plywood. We have one of the largest rainforests in West Africa. The spine, the president has to develop the spine, the capacity to just say, look, how come people who are exporting logs are investors? Are investors there? If I to export
so this was the good side. Let's just move forward a little bit.
2%. The leaders cannot develop the spine to say, look, we're not going to the whole sector. From time immemorial, the same people who control the sector around the continent come and say this is the best international practice. They give us 3%, 2%. The leaders cannot develop the spine to say, look, we're not going to accept 3%, 4%. The spine, if you develop the spine that you talked about the last time, and in this case, President Biden has to develop it. Why you develop what? Sanction? We will not develop a country by depending on aid. Small money. I hear the minister talking about, and I understand his orientation here and Amara, they been around the USAID, IMF, World Bank. Look around us. People who go to take the country from one level to another level are people who are brave and people who are innovative. Not people who go to depend on this thing. Or how much you get from additional taxes? Go to the SOE. Oh, man, the last time you gave 500,000 for another 100,000. That's a joke.
So let's move a little bit forward.
Other people must use it to generate protection. Other people must generate revenue from it. We are not able to develop a fund to do it in 20 years. What are you talking about here?
Take note of the noise. Take note of the noise. Yeah, then talking about the concession. Rectify all the concession. Yeah, then. So, you see why I said my friend and brother Senator Barney made some salient points, but you can see the anger in his colleagues, and you can go and find it. You can go to Spoon, where I just watched it. My fellow citizens, before I come to the other issue, where when you talk about the forestry sector, I agree with it. Because, listen, man, the people living in the forest, all our people in these counties, you say, don't touch this tree, don't do this, don't do that. You're getting 300 billion with a B to one country. Then sometimes you give all 1 million to help with our forest stuff. But if you go in any Indian store or Lebanese building material store, you will see plywood there. Where the plywood coming from? But they cut our logs and they export it. They bring it back to us in the form of plywood. And then we pay $8, $35, $20. Some of you who bought plywood like me, you're supposed to know. But you know how they get these agreements, right? If you go there, what? 10,000, got to go to the legislature. So where I disagree with Senator Barney, he said the president should develop the spine. No. The Mineral Development Agreement is a law. It comes to you all and it passes. Here is the thing. Yes, it comes from the executive branch of government, but nothing will happen unless you guys agree. And you guys represent us. If the executive send you an agreement and you're not happy with the agreement, you tell them, say, sorry, I see that mutual agreement, we're not going to sign it. If Beer Mountain send you agreement, the president send you agreement, say no. We represent the people. We will not sign it. But you cannot sign the agreement, allow the people to operate, then sit in the Senate and say the president must develop the spine to come up with policies. Policies are not laws. They are rules, guidelines by which we are supposed to govern activities. But when something becomes legal, it becomes law. And the only way it can become law is unless you guys in the Senate find a spine to say, no, we're not taking this 3%. You'll send it back to the president. But no, now they're talking about rectification. You can only rectify something that exists, true or false. We are members of the Intelligentsia. You can only rectify something that is already in existence. And that would be the agreement, which to a large extent is now a law. So who passed it? The question would be, who passed that law? Who agreed for the agreement to go into effect? The legislature. So if my brother, my friend, the guy I admire, Strong, will say the president must muster the spine and the courage, then I said to him, even if the president does, and he sends it to you, would you sign it? Because at the end of the day, what if the president said, I want 3%? Whose responsibility it is to checkmate him? It's you guys. So you cannot fail to check the agreement, which will later become a law, to provide oversight, which means you're not letting our things go vla, to represent us because we are the people who own the mineral. After you fail to provide those three responsibilities to us, the citizen, you cannot come back as Senator Barney and say the president must find the spine. This is where I disagree with you, because whatever that president does is subject to approval from you. If you don't approve it, it's not going to happen. And if you don't agree with it, it's finished. But you can say, Fahngon says something to you. You approve it. And you say, no, the president Fahngon must muster the... No. That's why you were there. So I'm here to encourage you as members of the Intelligentsia. Our level of intelligence is high. So, at the end of the day, whatever the president sends over there, you're not satisfied with, please, don't pass it into law. Please, provide oversight for us. Please, represent our interests because we own the mineral. But I will not agree with you that the president must put into place policies. No, it comes from you in the legislature. That is why we have 3 separate branches of government. They're distinct. They only operate collaboratively for the betterment of the nation. One makes the law, that's you guys. One interprets the law, and one enforces the law. And if a mineral development agreement will pass into law, then you, Senator Barney, and your colleagues must muster the courage. You must find a spine, not the president. He's one man. You guys are 30. We are members of the Intelligentsia. You must find the spine, not the president. The spine that says this agreement does not work for our people. Send it back. Today you are saying that you guys should rectify it. Should the president still find a spine, again with respect to rectifications? No. He got nothing to do with it now. You, Senator Barney, and your colleagues must now find a spine to rectify those agreements and give us, the Liberian people, what we deserve. As members of the Intelligentsia, I am refusing to accept that the president must find a spine. Whatever instrument is before you now for rectification, you must find a spine. The president has got nothing to do with it. And any new instrument that comes from the president that you are not happy with, instead of shifting the blame back to him, to what you were elected to do, and show that it's a good law or agreement, provide oversight, and represent our interests. We're done with that. Let's come to the 55th legislature. It is my thought that we need to see things for what they are. Today, I saw men. I saw men in the legislature today. I saw Alva Jones. I saw Fambule. I saw, oh my God, there were just so many. God, all of them. I saw men today in the legislature, led by Alva Jones. I saw men. People from Justice Ministry, Foreign Affairs, Immigration, and Police appeared. And you know what happened there? They all were seeking justice for a Liberian citizen upon whom, hot oil was poured. Oh, praise God. It didn't matter to them what party they were from. It didn't matter to them what the situation was in the house. What mattered to them is that a Chinese wealthy businessman tortured and nearly killed a Liberian citizen. And somehow, some individuals were trying to shield him from the law. They stood their grounds in the house. And today, I want to enlighten members of the Intelligentsia on this case. Never mind all the crazy writings and, oh, Eugene Fahngon, they told 300,000, 300,000. First of all, the guy that wrote that nonsense is an idiot. That's why one bossman asked and said, but all the talk you guys were talking, you saw Eugene Fahngon in there. He even mentioned the man name. Because at the end of the day, this is what we're placed with. So today, Eugene Fahngon will give you facts versus fiction in this case. following days, I asked the family, I said, if y'all remember the video I made, I went to see this boy the day before Armed Forces Day. I carried the whole TV crew. It's still on my page. And I asked him, when did you get out of the hospital? He said, I think the day after or so, Armed Forces Day. And he said, I got out like yesterday or something, which was the 10th. And I announced it on my video. Like, oh yes, it's the 10th. However, people writing in newspaper, writing all kinds of long nonsense. Members of the intelligentsia, you respect me. I don't come to give you only my opinion. I present facts. I show you documents. And that's what I'm about to do. They were talking, writing nonsense. They take little monies and they get crazy in the head. Not me. I don't do that. So, the first thing they attempted to do, I saw Serena Sema Cephas. And then I concluded, oh, I see why no other lawyer wants to take the case. Because it's gruesome. You pour hot oil on the fire and burn a Liberian citizen, fry him and feed him to a dog. You want me to say it is alleged. But I have confidence in the Liberian National Police and their investigation. Then I went back, I asked the lady, and this weekend, me and the sister, with all the documents, will prove something different. And y'all know me. If y'all respect me, y'all respect me. You know the tea are not empty. I didn't want to bring the hospital into disrepute. So I told them to correct their documents. Beloved, members of the intelligentsia, the first thing the hospital did was lie. That, oh, the man was released on February 1st. That is not true. That is not true. Me, I will show you documents. This is copies. Before I go forward, let me do this today. Today, pa, what document I'll be dealing with? Okay. So, the first document I want to show you is this. I will lift up the whole thing. Turn it around first, Eugene. You see right here? Where can I point the cursor? Let me find my cursor. Okay, the pen. Sorry, guys. All right, look right here. You can see now where the one is it's like two. It folds this one. These people have it. You see right here, burn wound, 3rd degree. That stuff they're running around with saying fire, fire. Burn wound, 3rd degree. And in that hospital document, the previous one, it said it was the result of fire. And no, we know. We'll show pictures. Not today. We'll do the podcast, okay? You see right here, this is the money. And they would return to the clinic every other day. So right here, this is February 1, right? 2025. Burn wound is 3rd degree, correct? Nice. Nice. Let's turn the page. Voila. We got more documents to show. Now, I'm going to go close. They balanced money, and this will prove when they went to give their statement to the police, to which the police would testify, they went to the police on February 9 to present their statement. On February 9. And as to where the boy was, he was still in the hospital. This is a receipt showing that it was paid on the 10th, he was released on the 10th. Yeah, down here, right here. You see it, February 10, 25. And because it was electronic, you can see 3-something p.m. Let me see if I can capture it. It's 3:18. I know I can wear glasses. Yeah. 3:18 p.m. Yeah. February 10, 2025, 3:18 p.m. The electronic stuff cannot lie. Yeah, the electronic number right here. You see? Okay. We're going to turn this one. We're going to turn this one. We're going to bring this one right here. Hey, Eugene Fahngon. I will fight for this justice. And I will get this justice. One thing you will notice too about all these documents, they are being changed. You can see where they're writing the February year. You see right here? You can clearly see there was a J here first. But now you can see February 1st. But you are writing a discharge, right? You see the instruction? Discharge medication, right? Right? Paracetamol. You see it? Discharge medication. Dressing every other day. Return on February 13th. I played it, it would be rough. And the play, it would be rough. You see that? Now, you talk about debridement. I used to work in surgery before. Debridement is where you clean the wound. You see that? Now, admission dates. Admission dates, 5. It's not possible. Hello? It's not possible. All right? Now, they play the propaganda in the media and they mention the wrong man's name. Because why? The state media went to cover the case. And we have every right to, because everyone saw what was happening in the media. Just because you have money to pay some people does not mean you can pay everybody. And that's why the other hired gun, let me bring it here. Well, I will show you, you will give up. All right, so we're going to go close. Call your friends who they're about to see something. Investigation findings. This is from the National Police. All right? Having thoroughly investigated and interviewed witnesses, the following facts were established to wit. Please follow with me. Having thoroughly investigated. What did the police say in their charge of this man? They said, having thoroughly investigated and interviewed witnesses, the following facts were established. Y'all hear it? When we stand up in this country, I did it in Budubura camp. I did it in the United States. I did it with Air Morocco. You saw it. I'll do it if you fry a human being in my country, let alone a Liberian citizen. I'll fight you again. Because it's inhumane. It's bad. So let's go what the police established as a fact. That a crime of criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault did occur. Fact number 1 from the police. Fact number 2, right here. That the pilot security guards in person of Emmanuel Numa, Sunday Sumo, Andrew Bama are charged with the offenses of aggravated assault for apprehending and beating on victim Momo David during his arrest near the lagoon at the Congo Town Back Road community on January 13. You see that fact? They charged them with aggravated assault. They beat the guy. That the defendant Michael Shio, a Chinese national, is also charged with criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault when he took, you see it? I'm moving it on the screen. When he took hot oil and wasted or poured it on victim Momo David, upper torso, neck, and chest, and later instructed his dogs to bite the victim on the legs. You see it? They charged the other 2 guys with aggravated assault. They charged him with aggravated attempt to commit murder. Why? Because he took hot boiling oil and poured it on his victim. And they displayed the gentleman today in front of the legislature. Who would not be angry? It comes down and says, thereafter, Marcus Shio facilitated the transporting of victim Momo David to Zone 3 police station under the custody of palace security officers to include Emmanuel Numa and Andrew Bamo. You see it? You see it? He gave the people the money. You think the people will lie on him? Okay, so we'll move to the next one. Okay? Now, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Because it's important. It is very important. So you see, right there, open it wide. Eugene, I deal with facts. Me and nobody get talk. That upon the arrival at the Zone 3, let's carry it back up so people can read. Sorry, just wanted to bring it back up. Upon the arrival at Zone 3 police station, our officer at the charge of quarter advised that the victim be taken to the hospital for treatment predicated upon the worsened physical condition. The worsened physical condition. That while taking the victim to the ERWA hospital, the victim accordingly shook the motorbike carrying them, and the back fell, thus giving the opportunity to the victim to escape. That the victim, Momo Davis, surfaced at his house and was observed by members of the family to be in a very appalling condition, which prompted his sister George Teach to take him to the ERWA hospital, where he was admitted undergoing treatment. These are facts that the people investigated. Okay? Now,